Hey everyone, Mtashed here, and today we're going to be looking at Lord of Wolves. Now this is very different from the Destiny 1 version because the perks are quite different and, the weapon just functions differently. In the first game, this was more of a support weapon because when you'd get kills, it would boost the recovery of your teammates. Now, it is more a killing machine. Is it good? Is it amazing? Let's talk about it. Composite stock is going to give it some greater stability and handling speed, but Release the Wolves is the big perk on this weapon. When you defeat an enemy, it's going to double the number of projectiles it bursts. So it currently shoots 5 bullets, but after you get a kill, you're going to shoot out 10 of them. It's got extended mag to make the magazine up to 30, which is fantastic. That allows you to kill one enemy and then shoot a few more bursts with that extended magazine, that 10-shot round. Chambered compensator allows you to control the recoil a little bit better. It's almost completely vertical. And then we've got shrapnel launcher, which is just stating that it's going to be a short-range burst of solar damage, not necessarily a shotgun blast. Now, when testing the one-hit range of the Lord of Wolves, it was quite a bit better than pretty much every other shotgun that I tested. Around the 9-meter range, I was still able to get a kill with the Lord of Wolves, when with other shotguns, I was hardly tickling the enemy. In a lot of situations in the 7, 8, 9 meter range, depending on how many crits I landed, I was able to kill targets and do a lot more damage than the other shotguns. Now, when you have Release the Wolves active and you double up those bullets, you extend that range out even further, but because of the way damage fall off works, you're not going to be able to map people with this, because even though you're shooting twice the amount of damage, once you get out of range, you're going to tickle them with those 10 shots regardless. And because of this, I'm about to kind of shit-talk Lord of Wolves. I have to say it because I think that this is a bad shotgun. I do not think it has any value in any situation in PvP, and I'm going to explain why. When you are using a shotgun, you are doing one single blast of damage to kill someone. And when you use Lord of Wolves, you have essentially added time to kill on that shotgun blast. And so against other shotguns, you have now lost that duel in many situations, even if you can kill him at a further range. Because by the time all of the damage lands on him, he will have closed the gap and then killed you in the 1 second that it takes to pull his trigger. Now, if you get that first kill and you get Release the Wolves to proc, you do extend that range, and you can kill people at a distance. You can see here, I get the first kill, I turn around, and I shoot this guy pretty much across the hallway. If you land all of those shots, but if the person is strafing or jumping, you happen to miss slightly left or right, or maybe you're slightly out of range and he doesn't die, all of a sudden you've sent 10 shots down range without getting the kill. So now all of a sudden you're doubling up the ammo that you're using, potentially not even getting that kill, and all of a sudden Lord of Wolves starts to feel very average. Because in most situations that this thing would have that extra range or have that extra lethality, I probably could have just done the same thing with a fusion rifle. And that is why I don't like this weapon. In almost every situation that Lord of Wolves would, benefit from that extra range, I probably would have benefited more if I would have just used a fusion rifle to start with. It kind of feels like a fast-firing fusion rifle instead of a shotgun. And when you're up close and personal against actual shotguns, you lose. If you're at a range against something like a fusion rifle, you lose. There is almost no situations that I could find Lord of Wolves being this god-tier weapon, and I found it so underwhelming. The other issue is Release the Wolves cancels itself if you reload. And so unless you find someone in 5 seconds, you don't get to benefit from this. And if you don't have enough ammo to take advantage of it, you don't get to benefit from it. And there's a lot of situations where this exotic or intrinsic perk or whatever you want to call it doesn't bring any actual value. Now, the one thing I'll say is it looks amazing, it's very unique to use, and it can kill at a farther range than most shotguns. But that's if you're landing your bursts and your enemies aren't really strafing and things like that, or else you're most likely going to have to pull the trigger twice like you would on any other shotgun. In PvE, I think it brings a little bit more value because, as we said before, it does have an extended range. So that means you can be a little bit further away and still get that full damage blast, and it's a little bit more accurate than other shotguns. On enemies with a big crit spot, there's a good chance that you can line up a multitude of these critical hits, and you'll probably be able to outdamage many other special weapons. Now, I also have a full auto shotgun with major spec, and it does similar damage in the time it takes to take out most of these yellow health bar major enemies. And so, am I going to waste an exotic slot on this shotgun when a legendary one can do just as good, if not better? Probably not. The only thing I will say about Lord of Wolves is that extended range keeps you a little bit safer than any other shotgun can, but I don't think that the benefits outweigh the cons. The amount of ammo you're going to burn through using this thing, as well as the exotic slot being taken up when you could have used something better, it's just a little bit too hefty for me. That's it from me though, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully it helped you a little bit, and maybe I'm completely wrong. So try out Lord of Wolves yourself, make an opinion for yourself, and maybe you're going to like it a lot more than I do. That's it. See you later. Bye-bye.